Hi there, Maxine here with Tink and I Treasures. Welcome to my studio. Today I thought I'd have a play with some paint that I picked up. It is tempera paint. Yes, it's for children. And I got this pack and it has the primary colors, which you can make all the colors in the world with these three. It also had green, which is odd because blue and yellow make green. It'd been nice if they had a brown, but they didn't. And then it had black and white. Okay, so I thought we'd have a play with seeing what we could do with some doilies. Oops. So I got a package of white doilies, and I thought we would have a play with coloring some of these. See how that turns out. You know, a lot of times you want a little piece of doily on your, on your collage, or, on your well, oh, my mind just went blank. You just want a little piece of doily or a little piece of lace on something, but maybe not necessarily white all the time. So anyway, I apologize if you're getting a glare from the glass and my light. I'm trying to, have it both ways, because without the light it's too dark right now. And because of the paint, I have to use this glass surface. So, it's just no, there's just no winning. So anyway, I am going to mix some red with some white. So maybe we can get a pink color. I don't know. I've never used tempera paint before. Well, I might have as a child. I don't know. But I thought it's very inexpensive. So, it was worth getting and having a play with, just to see, Now that's not a bad pink at all. A little bit more white coming around, lighten it up a little bit. So we get to have a couple of different tones here. So once this dries, we will have some colored doilies to work with. I like to use these when I'm doing a little cluster or decorating a pocket or something like that. There. Huh, what do you think? That's not at all. That's not bad. Okay, so oh heavens. So yeah, I realize that there's probably a glare from my light, and I usually do not have my glass mat down when I'm filming because of that light glare. But like I said, working with this paint, I have to have something that's, going to be able to clean up well. Now you want your wet wipes handy. Oops, when you're doing this. So here's, let's see, here's one I did earlier. I mixed red with the yellow to get an orange. So it's kind of, you know, kind of a bright orange. That's why I was kind of hoping, I mean, I was kind of wishing that maybe brown would have been a color in the mix rather than the green, which is odd, like I said, because usually, you know, when they're selling a limited amount, yellow and blue makes the green, so they usually don't have green in with the set. But you know, like I said, I found this in the kids section, so yeah, it comes up fairly well. I mean, I am not pushing hard at all. This is, you know, very fragile. I mean, doily, it's, you know, paper, so it wouldn't take it wouldn't take harsh treatment, that's for sure. So yeah, it comes up fairly well, so you can, you know, tone it down a little bit, lighten it up a little bit. Yeah. So here's another one I did earlier. This one's really, this doily is even more delicate than the other one is. Ah, see? Ooh. So you have to be really careful. I wonder, let's get out some water, see what happens. Maybe if I put some water on it. Yeah. Let's see, I'm trying to think, what colors make brown? I know I've achieved it. That's the one thing, you know, having the watercolor artist background. When I first started watercolor, watercolors are very expensive. Even more so these days. And so I could only, you know, afford to get a few paints at a time. So initially what I got was the primary colors and a purple. And I painted lots and lots of paintings with just those 4 colors and mixing them. So I learned a lot about mixing, and it was actually very enjoyable, you know, just to see what colors I could achieve by mixing, you know, one color with another and stuff. Of course, you know, some of it we all know, you know, blue and yellow make green, you know, red and yellow make orange. I mean, we all know those things, right? But, you know, so getting some of the other colors and just seeing what I could get, you know, just discovering that was very, very fun, you know. But of course, over time, I added more and more colors to my palette, and you know, now my palettes have, you know, 30 some colors in them. I still enjoy the discovery, you know. So yeah, this doily is very fragile. Not really one that you can do a lot of wiping with. This pink one that I did, I think this doily would probably, it's not quite as lacy, so it would probably stand up to a little bit more rubbing and what have you. So yeah, that's pretty wet now. I think yeah, this is the other problem. Where do you put these things to dry? I do not have a place to put these things. Wait a minute. I know what I'll do. Alright, so get out a paper towel, lay that over my Cricut, and put that over the paper towel, and there you go. Okay, I think that's one layer. All right, now what do we want to do? Got any suggestions? Brown, 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 brown. I'm trying to think. See what you know, the thing of it is with watercolors now, a lot of debate on that. You know, I'm a purist when it comes to watercolor, and purists do not use black or white ever in watercolor. It's just not done. So I don't have a whole lot of experience using black or white when trying to mix color, you know, trying to mix and discover colors. I have no experience using black and white to achieve anything. Can't remember what the philosophy is. You know, white is the absence of color and black is all colors. I can't remember, but anyway, it's really not used. I mean, a lot of watercolor artists do not use black or white. I would usually mix some dark colors to get a dark. I mean, you can never get black, but what you get is black out of the tube is dead. It's just a dead color. It has no life to it. It has no, you know, there's no subtleties with it or anything like that. It's just, but if you mix some dark colors, so you take Elysium Crimson is one of them, a dark blue, a dark green like sap, and start mixing those colors, you get a dark color. You don't get black, but what you get has so much more life to it. Okay, so it looks like we might have achieved a brown. So yeah, you know, I'm trying to think, you know, so brown, one of, you know, brown is kind of has a base, you know, of orange. So that is, you know, red and yellow. And then to get it darker, I use the black, and you know, that's not a bad brown, is it? I don't think that's a bad brown. Oh, that's pretty cool. So, but you know, that's kind of the fun of it, really. You know, instead of having every color they sell and spending a fortune buying all those colors, just get your basics, you know. Blue, red, and yellow are the primary colors. And those colors could come in either cool tones or warm tones. And you're going to get different mixes depending on whether they're cool or warm. If you mix a cool color with a warm color, more than likely you're going to get mud. So yeah, it's color is fascinating. It really is. It's fascinating. If you mix complementary colors, they will mute each other down. Let's see. Okay, so I want a blue, but I don't want this blue. Or am I in frame? I hope I am. I think so. It's a little bit too high for me to see. Let's see. So I want a blue, but I don't want that blue. So let's see. It's not a bad blue, but see, blue and red will give us purple. Sometimes you get a pretty purple, sometimes you get a not so pretty purple. It depends, again, on whether the blue is a warm blue or a cool blue, and whether the red is a warm red or a cool red. Oh, it's pretty color, huh? Took me a long time to figure that out too. You know, I would mix blue and red, and sometimes I would get this really pretty purple, and other times I would get something that was not pretty at all. And it took me a while to figure out why that was happening. And you know, it's because all colors have a warm or a cool tone to them. So a blue, a red, a warm blue is going to have more red in it. A cool blue is going to have more green. Okay, so I'm trying to mix it right here, right on the canvas, which I prefer to do when I'm painting. Instead of mixing paint on the palette and getting it all mixed together really good, I like to mix it right on the paper when I, you know, watercolor. So I don't know, the look you get is different, you know, than mixing things on a palette and getting it all mixed up really good like what we did here. But so see, I don't know if you can see or not. Maybe if I bring you down a little bit. So I don't know if you can see in this purple the subtleties that we're having. So this is all mixed right on, you know, the palette. I mean, not the palette, but the canvas. So instead of getting a very, you know, just plain, it was mixed on here, and we got just, I mean, it's a really pretty color, but it's just the one color. These over here, over this area, I actually added blue into there and red in right on to here. And so, you know, we get a much different look. So now I just sprayed some water and seeing if we could, you know, maybe pick up some of that, and so it's not quite as bright. There. Ooh, that is pretty, isn't it? It looks kind of marbled. I don't know if you can tell that, but it looks kind of marbled. I like that. And our brown side, it's dried a little bit, so see what we can do here. Anyway, I was just trying to think of ways to get, you know, more choices. You buy a package of white paper doilies, and, you know, white paper doily is what you have, you know. Sometimes you don't want white. Of course, you can always coffee dye them, you know. But how about if you want, oh yeah, see? And that picked up some of that, so you could, you know, pick it up more in one area and less in another area and get this marbled effect. Yeah, that's, this is fun. This is fun. So I would say, yeah, get yourself some, you know, look in the, you know, the kids section of, you know, your department store or whatever. And, you know, Walmart, or we have Fred Meyer's here. I think in other places it might be called Kroger's, where they have, you know, they have more than just groceries. They have clothes and house goods and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So, or Walmart, you know, check in the kids section and see what you can find. This tempera paint is, like I said, it's very inexpensive, and you can have a lot of fun with just trying different things, you know. If it doesn't work out, you know, it's only paper, right? But I like having black. I always like using a bit of black. Bit of black and a bit of bling. That's my thing. Bit of black, bit of bling. So I hope everyone is well, having a good day, a nice week. I can't believe it's July already. My goodness. Everyone is saying that too, you know. The time is just going so fast. You would think this last year, with, you know, most of us, you know, being at home most of the time anyway, working from home, getting groceries delivered, or order online and go pick it up. I mean, for a while, that was the only thing we did. That's the only thing that got us out of the house, was we order groceries online and go pick them up. And yeah, that's, for the longest time, that's all we did. You would think that given, you know, the limitations of movement or whatever, that time would have just creeped by, you know? You would think time would have just creeped by, but no, it has just flown, and everyone is saying that. The time is just going so fast. You know, the days go fast, the weeks go fast, which, you know, is great. And I wish Friday night time would slow way down. That would be cool. Actually, I always pray, you know, Saturday mornings. I get up Saturday morning and I pray for Groundhog's Day. So it will repeat and repeat and repeat, huh? Wouldn't that be cool? The Saturday right after you got paid. Groundhog's Day. Yeah. That would be awesome. Okay, what do we want to do now? Let's see. We have a blue and a green, we have a black, we have a pink, we have brown, and kind of a purpley. We got orange. Well, we don't want to do white because it's already white, right? Green, white and green, white and let's see, that's blue. So let's try, oops, the green we haven't even opened. That's because I made my own green earlier. Okay, so put a little bit of green. Okay, now we're gonna put some green on here. Ooh, that is a bright green, is it not? And some blue. Green. Blue. See, you get a more interesting color when you mix it right on your palette, right on your canvas, whatever that might be, whatever, you know, your canvas might be. If you mix things right on your canvas, you're gonna get a much more interesting mixture. I mean, the colors do mix, but it's not a solid mix. Like if I were to put these two together on here on my palette and mix them up really good, you know, you get a solid color, you know, whatever that turns out to be. But when you mix them right on your subject, right on your canvas, then you get a far more interesting look, I think. Of course, it depends, you know, on what you're going for. But I just think this is far prettier than just the solid color I would get mixing it on the palette. So, you know, we've got some variations going on here. And maybe I need to bring you down again. I don't know. Let's see. And again, I apologize if you're getting my coffee cup. Does that help? I hope that helps. I gotta figure out my lighting. You know, I had my studio in a different part of the house, and the lighting was awesome. Because I had a big, huge window that came way down to the level of my desk. And so, you know, I got great light. But I had to move because internet did not work in that area very well. And, you know, I kept calling the text to come out and calling the text to come out. And finally I said, you know, tell me what you're getting. Go in this area. What's the internet like? And he said, well, it's fine. And I said, go in that area and tell me what it's like. And he went into where I had my studio, and he said, oh. He said, there seems to be a block. And he said, I have no idea what is causing that. So in one area, internet's fine, but just a few feet into where my studio was, and there was definitely a block. And he said, I don't know what's causing that. It could be something in the wall when the house was built. He didn't know, but, you know, I thought, okay, fine. I'm not fooling with this anymore, and so I moved my office and my studio. And so now I have a window, but it's a higher window. It doesn't come down to my desk level, and the lighting is now a challenge. You know, it's always something, isn't it? It's just, if it's not one thing, it's something else. Guy. So see, I don't know. I hope you can pick up how pretty that is. You know, and it's not a solid mixed color. It's just a really nice, you know, some areas are more green, some areas are more blue. You know, it's just a more interesting mix rather than having a solid mix that you do on the palette first. So I think I might do that with the pink again. Just so, you know, we get a more interesting pink rather than a Pepto-Bismol pink. Which, that's kind of what I got the first time, I think, is like Pepto-Bismol. The pink is difficult. Pink is one of my favorite colors. But it can be hard. It can very much be a hard color because it is so easy to go into that Pepto-Bismol pink, you know, and that's not what you want. No, not Pepto-Bismol pink. Okay, so let's get that cleaned up, my brush. Okay. I think I'm going to keep you down close, if that's okay. I drink. Okay, so I am going to put some white on here. Yeah, I know, white. It's already white. What is she doing? Well, you have to have the white, don't you? Otherwise, it'll just be red. It won't be pink. think we're still getting into that Pepto-Bismol color, aren't we? I don't know. Let's see. Think. You know, I haven't done, you know, once I got into this junk journaling and paper crafting, I was hooked. I mean, I was just hook, line, and sinker, you know. So I haven't done watercolor very much, although I'm starting to get back into it because I'm actually trying to work on a digital kit for you guys that actually is painting. It's flowers. It's going to be flower time, you know, flower, but I don't know how to do the digital kits. I mean, I don't know how to do the computer generated stuff. And I don't have the software either to do that with. But I thought it might be fun if I do watercolor paintings of like flowers and stuff and then scan that in as a digital kit. What do you think? Does that sound like something you guys would be interested in? Anyway, so yeah, I've started doing some watercolor again. And trying to get that done. So yeah, if you check out my Etsy shop, I do have some digitals in my shop, but they're all handmade digitals. I don't have any computer generated digitals. Everything is something that was handmade and I scanned in. Not that the computer generated ones are bad. I am in awe of, you know, the people that design these digital kits. I mean, some of them are so pretty, you know, and it's like, I have no idea how they did that. I would love to learn, but yeah, I don't think you can just buy the software anymore. I think it's one of those cloud things. You have to rent it. And I don't like that. So I don't know if I'll ever do the computer generated digitals, but I would like to have more digitals in my shop because, well, it's just easier all the way around, isn't it? You know, you get your, you make your purchase and you download right away. And, you know, you're off and running. Thank you. It's my sweetie. He's getting me some more coffee. Anyway, so yeah, you know, you get your purchase right away. You just download it and off you go. And I don't have to fool around with shipping and, you know, all that added expense. I don't charge for shipping much in on my Etsy shop because I never know what it's gonna be, you know. I do charge, you know, I do glue bottle jewelry is what I call it, and basically, you know, it's these guys. So I make a lot of glue bottle jewelry, and I do charge $3 shipping on those because I know that's how much it costs. But my journals, I don't know how much it's going to cost. It depends on, you know, what size box it's going to go in, what the weight is. Yeah, some of my journals are pretty heavy. So, you know, I don't have a clue, you know, what to charge for shipping when I put the item on Etsy. I don't know what it's going to cost. I have no idea. So I don't add a shipping charge for those. But yeah, digitals, you know, you get your stuff right away, and I don't have to fool around with shipping it. So it's a win-win for everybody. But yeah, my digitals are all going to be handmade one way or the other. So yeah, right now I'm working on a floral themed digital that's all going to be, you know, just original watercolor. So, cross fingers, we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so that turned out really pretty, don't you think? I still think it's a Pepto-Bismol going on, though. And I'm not sure how to tone that down. I wonder what yellow would do. What does yellow do with red? Oh, orange, duh. Yeah, so now I'm getting an orange. Okay, so, well, we'll have a little bit of orange on here. That way, you know, you get a couple of different colors in one. So when you're working on something and you want a little piece of doily or something, and you know, you can look at your doilies and, you know, this right in here, wait a minute, this right in here might be the perfect color, you know, that you're needing. One never knows. See, as it's drying, it's not mixing as much. And so now I'm getting more of a yellow on top of the pink rather than it mixing in and becoming orange. Does that make sense? So, but you know what? That's a really pretty color. I don't know if it's coming across on film, but that's actually a really pretty color. The yellow over the pink. It looks kind of like sunset. Yeah, it looks like a sunset color. It's really pretty. Hey, sweetie. Thank you. Oh, lovely. He knows I love my coffee. Okay. So, yeah, that's an awesome color. I don't know if it's coming across or not, but that is so pretty. Yeah, it's kind of like a sunset. So see, you get these variations when you mix right on your canvas. You get these variations. And your colors are more alive. They have more life in them than if you just mix it on your palette and put it on. It's, you know, it doesn't have as much life. Let's say that, you know, it just doesn't have as much life. I found that in my watercolors. I don't mix on a palette very much at all. I usually mix right on the paper. Or you know, with watercolors, you kind of let them just flow together as they want to a lot of times, you know. Watercolors have a mind of their own. That's why I love them so much. I started out oil painting when I was actually in my teens. I started out oil painting. And about, oh boy, how long has it been now? Oh, probably 15 years ago. a lady introduced me to watercolor, and it was actually a co-worker, and she had some beautiful paintings in her office, and I asked her, you know, where did you get those paintings? And she says, I did them. And I'm just like, oh, you did? And she says, you know, and I ask her, what is that? And she says, it's watercolor. And I go, oh my God, those are beautiful. And so that got me started, right? And I tell you, first time out, I was hooked on those. You know, oils are nice, but there is no comparison to watercolor. I mean, the effects you get with watercolor, you cannot do with oils. You know, there's no way. Watercolor has a flow to it and a life to it that, you know, oils don't have. You put oil, well, it's kind of like this, you know, these are kind of like oil paints in a way, you know, you put them, and that's where they, you know, that's where they sit, you know. But watercolors, you know, watercolors are movement. Watercolors are alive. Watercolors burst. You know, you put some water on paper, and you put down watercolor, and the color just bursts, and it flows, and they mingle, and oh. Sometimes I just like to sit and watch. You know, it's like, don't tell anybody, but I didn't really paint this painting. The watercolors actually painted for me. So isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. I don't know. That is a lot better than this, right? Look at that. So this was the white and the red mixed mostly on my palette and then put on my canvas. This, I mean, check it out. Look at the difference. Total difference. This was mixed on my canvas, and then once the pink and red, or the white and red, was still kind of wet, then I started adding the yellow, which gave this really pretty orangey, you know, sunset effect. And yeah, that's that is really pretty. I like that. I'd buy that. You know, I'd pay for that. I mean, you know, of course it all depends. Okay, so this one, this green one, greeny blue one, is starting to dry. So you can see where, you know, I took up some of the color with a wet wipe. And so we got kind of a, you know, marbly effect. Here's our brown and our purple. They're all still kind of damp. Here's our orange, and where we took up some of the color with the wet wipe. This is mostly dry, so let's see what happens now. So yeah, we can still take up some of that paint. So I think the tempera paint, you know, it's made for children. Oh boy, get paint in my blouse, I would not be happy about. You know, it's made for children, so it's an easy cleanup. I think it's probably water soluble. So yeah, even when it's dry, you can actually lift it up easier once it's dry. So you can kind of tone it down a little bit, and then, you know, once it dries again, you could actually go over this with some vintage photo or something like that. And I think that would totally make this orange a very vintagey type color. And here's our black, and we will leave black. If I try to take that up, I'm sure what we'll get is kind of a gray. I can do some in the middle so we can see, because I probably won't be using the middle of these. You know, I like using the edge for the lace effect. There, see? Yeah, that comes up really well. So you can really tone it down and lift a lot of that color. And here's one of the first ones I did. And this was blue straight out of the tube. And I believe this was the green straight out. Or no, this is the green I mixed with blue and yellow. This is what I mixed. So, take that up. You know, and all of these, you know, a little touch of vintage photo and voila. You got yourself vintage. So, yeah, I hope this has, you know, given you some inspiration. You know, I don't mean for you to go out and buy stuff. You know, trust me, I do that. I have done that a lot. So, you know, so much. I watch someone's video and they'll be doing something and I think, how cool is that? And, you know, then I go buy the stuff, and whether I use it again or not is, you know, anyone's guess. So I've wasted a lot of money getting things that are just not, you know, my style. I mean, watching it, it looked like it would be cool, but in the end, you know, it just is not my style. So I never do it again. My wax seal kit that I got because I watched, you know, someone on YouTube, what, a year ago or so. I ended up getting the wax seal stuff, and I love that. And I have a video on making the perfect wax seal, so you might want to check that out. Not that, you know, the video shows it's not exactly perfect, but you get my meaning. You know, get a wax seal that comes out, you know, nice round circle, rather than, you know, I've done a lot of wax seals on top of ribbon or lace or something like that, and you know, it's kind of a hit and miss whether it's going to turn out. And you know, maybe you like the wax seal looking kind of, you know, it doesn't have a smooth edge and it's kind of ripply or whatever, and you know, you might like that. But I did a video on how to pour a wax seal that, you know, is just a perfect round shape, and then you glue it, you know, you glue it onto your ribbon or your lace, and that works out really well. So yeah, you might want to check out that video. But yeah, so, you know, check out the children's section of your store and, you know, give some of this stuff a play. You never know what you might come up with. Bye for now. Take care of each other. Love each other. And I'll see you later. Bye.